मैं तृणमूल का पार्टी मेंबर नहीं हूँ, तृणमूल का समर्थक नहीं हूँ, और वैसे तृणमूल तो मुझे विपक्षी मानता है। लॉजिकल डिस्क्रिपेंसी सिर्फ बंगाल के वोटर्स के लिस्ट में ही था, और कोई देश में कोई और वोटर लिस्ट में कोई लॉजिकल डिस्क्रिपेंसी नहीं था। कि ये जो मैंडेट की बात बीजेपी अभी कर रहा है, ये बिल्कुल मैन्युफैक्चर्ड है। ये लोकतंत्र के ऊपर आघात तो बार बार आरएसएस बीजेपी कर रही है इसके बारे में।
वेलकम टू दी ईदिना.com। आज हमारा साथ कलकत्ता से जोड़ रहे इलेक्शन रिजल्ट के बारे में बात करने के लिए जय किसान आंदोलन के राष्ट्रीय संचालक और सीनियर एडवोकेट AvikSaha। वेलकम सर। या 5 राज्यों के इलेक्शन रिजल्ट आ गए, स्पष्ट चित्रण दिख रहा है आंखों के सामने। कलकत्ता के स्पेशली वेस्ट बंगाल के इलेक्शन के बारे में पूरा देश देख रहा था। आपका फर्स्ट रिएक्शन क्या है इसका?
ट्रेंड्स के मुताबिक बीजेपी बहुत सारे सीटों में आगे हैं। ट्रेंड कंसोलिडेट होकर विक्ट्री में कन्वर्ट होगा या नहीं, ये तो और 2-3 घंटे में पता चलेगा। लेकिन ये तो चुनावी विश्लेषण है, कौन जीता कौन हारा कोई भी टीवी खोल के देख सकता है। इशू ये होना चाहिए क्या बंगाल में कैसा चुनाव हुआ, ये एक मूल प्रश्न है। याद रखिए, देश के 12 राज्यों में एसआईआर हुआ, लेकिन बंगाल में 2 राउंड में एसआईआर हुआ। फर्स्ट राउंड में जिन लोगों ने अपना डॉक्यूमेंट्स देके अपने आप को वोटर साबित किया, उनके ऊपर भी प्रश्न चिन्ह उठाकर उनको दूसरा राउंड में ले गया। एक लॉजिकल डिस्क्रिपेंसी बोल के एक एक्सप्रेशन को यूज किया गया। लॉजिकल डिस्क्रिपेंसी सिर्फ बंगाल के वोटर्स के लिस्ट में ही था, और कोई देश में कोई और वोटर लिस्ट में कोई लॉजिकल डिस्क्रिपेंसी नहीं था। और क्या था ये डिस्क्रिपेंसी? नाम का स्पेलिंग का गलत, फादर का नाम का स्पेलिंग का गलत। ये करके अल्टीमेटली, और मैं एनडीटीवी का वेबसाइट आर्टिकल से कोट करना चाहता हूँ, क्योंकि एनडीटीवी कोई तृणमूल के पक्ष में है ऐसा तो इस देश में कोई नहीं बोलेगा। 22 अप्रैल को एनडीटीवी के आर्टिकल कहता है कि 89 लाख वोटर्स को लिस्ट से हटाया गया, जो कि लगभग 11.6% वोटर्स हैं बंगाल के।
ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಹೋರಾಟ ಒಂದು ಕಥೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಮರೆಮಾಚಿದ ಹೋರಾಟಗಳ ಅನಾವರಣ. ಭಾರತದ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಏಕೀಕರಣ ಒಂದೇ ಹೋರಾಟದ 2 ಮುಖಗಳು. ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್, ಜಯ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವಿಶೇಷಾಂಕ ಈಗಲೇ ಓದಿ ಹಂಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ.
जो 2021 का रिजल्ट था और 2024 का लोकसभा का रिजल्ट था, बस उतना ही तृणमूल और बीजेपी में डिफरेंस था। 2024 में बीजेपी के पास 39% वोट शेयर था। अभी 11.6% हटाने से बीजेपी और तृणमूल लगभग वोट शेयर में एक हो जाते हैं। ये भी देखा गया, उस आर्टिकल से ही मैं कोट कर रहा हूं। जो लार्ज स्केल डिलीशंस हुआ है, उसमें 156 सीट जो तृणमूल ने 2021 में जीता था, उसमें से 129 सीटों में डिलीशन लार्ज स्केल है। हमारा एक कोलीग ने एक चार्ट बनाया ट्रेंड्स के अनुसार, आज का ट्रेंड्स के अनुसार, जिसमें मैं 2-3 खाली जिले की बात कर रहा हूँ। जिला मुर्शिदाबाद, डिलीटेड वोटर्स 4,55,137। 2021 में बीजेपी 2 सीटें जीती थी। 1 बजे तक की ट्रेंड में बीजेपी 6 और सीटों में लीड में है। नॉर्थ 24 परगना 3,25,666 सीट वोटर्स डिलीट हुए हैं। बीजेपी 5 सीट जीती थी, अब 15 सीट में लीड में है। ये पूरा एक चार्ट है। मैं ये आपको बताना चाहता हूँ कि मैं तृणमूल का पार्टी मेंबर नहीं हूँ, तृणमूल का समर्थक नहीं हूँ, और वैसे तृणमूल तो मुझे विपक्षी मानता है। कई बार तृणमूल के साथ किसान आंदोलन के संदर्भ में हमारा भिड़ंत हुआ है। लेकिन मैं एक चीज़ क्लियरली आपको बताना चाहता हूँ कि ये जो मैंडेट की बात बीजेपी अभी कर रहा है, ये बिल्कुल मैन्युफैक्चर्ड है। मतलब चोजन वोटर्स से, वोटर को आप चुनेंगे और वो आपको चुनेंगे, ये जो प्रक्रिया हुआ है बंगाल में, ये लोकतंत्र के ऊपर आघात तो बार बार आरएसएस बीजेपी कर रही है, इसके बारे में बहुत शोज होते हैं, डिस्कशंस होते हैं, बट ये फाइनल अंतिम ये था। और मैं कई देख रहा हूँ लोग बोल रहे हैं, अरे देखा अमित शाह ने क्या चमत्कार कर दिया। सर, यदि आप चूज करेंगे कौन आपको वोट देंगे और वो आपको वोट दिया और आपने जीता, तो ये जीत कैसी हुई आपकी? तो तृणमूल सरकार बहुत अच्छी नहीं चलाई थी, तृणमूल के खिलाफ जरूर कुछ शिकायतें, काफी शिकायतें होंगे, बट फैक्ट्स देखिए। बीजेपी का आर्टिकुलेशन ये है कि आरजीकर रेप केस के बाद तृणमूल का ग्राफ गिरा। याद रखिए 2024 में बीजेपी का करीब 1.25% वोट शेयर बढ़ा था लोकसभा चुनाव में। उसके बाद ममता बनर्जी एक सॉफ्ट हिंदुत्व का एजेंडा लेके आई। अप्रैल 2025 में उन्होंने जगन्नाथ मंदिर दीघा में इनॉग्रेट किया, पब्लिक फंड से खर्चा करके इतना बड़ा मंदिर बनाया। तो ममता बनर्जी का एंटी हिंदू जो छवि, पोजीशन बीजेपी बार बार बनाने की कोशिश कर रही थी, उसको काफी टैकल करने में ममता बनर्जी ने कोशिश किया। और 2024 में इन टर्म्स ऑफ नंबर ऑफ सीट्स जो बीजेपी की हार बंगाल में हुई थी, 19 लोकसभा सीट से 12 सीट आ गई थी। बिटवीन 2024 में और 2026 में बीजेपी ने ऐसा क्या चमत्कार किया या तृणमूल ने ऐसा क्या गलत काम किया जिससे 10% का बीजेपी का शेयर बढ़ गया इस चुनाव में? सो मोटी मोटी मैं ये बात कहना चाहता हूँ कि ये मैंडेट जो है, ये चोरी की हुई मैंडेट है। दिस इज अ स्टोलन मैंडेट एंड ये बंगाल का चुनाव का नतीजा नहीं है। ये जो भी इसको बंगाल का चुनाव का नतीजा बोलेगा, मैं उनको चैलेंज करता हूँ कि जो 27 लाख कम से कम अपील पेंडिंग है। हाँ, और इसमें एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट का, इलेक्शन कमीशन का रोल के बारे में जितना कम बोले उतना ही बेहतर है। लेकिन सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने 2 बातें कही जो एज ए लॉयर मुझे समझ में नहीं आया और देश के किसी नागरिक को भी समझ में नहीं आया। उन्होंने कहा, एक नंबर, कि आप इस बार वोट नहीं दे सकते तो क्या है, नेक्स्ट बार दे देना। ये कोई देश का सर्वोच्च न्यायालय कह सकता है और उसके आधार पर एक चुनाव हो सकता है, जबकि एक्चुअली कानून ये है कि एक वोटर को भी आप पीछे नहीं छोड़ सकते। तभी तो जाके विकलांगों के घर में जाके, सीनियर सिटीजन के घर में जाके पोस्टल बैलेट के माध्यम से आप वोट लेते हैं, और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये बात कह दी। और दूसरा, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि जो 27 लाख लोगों का नाम अवैध तरीके से काटा गया है, उनको आप अपील सुनने दीजिए, उनको अपील करने दीजिए। और कलकत्ता हाई कोर्ट को डायरेक्शन दिया कि आप अपीलेट ट्राइब्यूनल बनाइए। उसमें 27 लाख अपील फाइल हुआ है जी, और उसमें से सिर्फ 1700 अपील की सुनवाई हुई है, और जिसमें से करीब 95% अपील अलाउ हुए हैं। तो अब आप सोच लीजिए, यदि 27 लाख अपील की सुनवाई होती और उसमें 95 नहीं, छोड़िए 80% लोगों की भी अपील मानी जाती, जो कि दे आर ऑल वैलिड वोटर्स, 2002 में वोटर थे, 2002 से लिंक है, खाली नाम के स्पेलिंग बदल रहा है। तो ये चुनाव का परिणाम क्या होता मुझे नहीं मालूम, लेकिन ये जो परिणाम हुआ है, ये 27 लाख लोगों के को छोड़ के, उनकी मत ना लेके, उनकी वोट ना लेके जो परिणाम हुआ है, इसको आप डेमोक्रेटिक इलेक्शन का रिजल्ट ये तो नहीं कह सकते, आप कुछ भी और कह दीजिए।
Avikda, you've been an activist and also an advocate who practices in Kolkata High Court and Supreme Court, and you very well also know
I can't hear you
what is happening. Can you hear me now?
Yes, much
Yes.
better.
Yeah. So, being an advocate and an activist, you also very well know what's happening in other parts of India, and all other states were looking at Bengal for one more reason, that is that Bengal is fighting back. The leading political party, the Trinamool Congress, was fighting it in the streets, in the court, and also politically. It was also like an election on SIR. It is not that Bengal was not like Bihar. Bengal was not even like West Bengal, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, where the political parties did not make it an issue. But in Bengal, it was an issue. And the main political party itself was in the forefront. But still this has happened. So where do you think the problem was?
The problem was a completely compromised election commission which invented ways to disenfranchise people, and a complicit, or if not a compliant Supreme Court which did not uphold the law. And I'm saying uphold the law. They don't have, the courts must never support this party or that party. But the courts ought to stand with the citizens who have fundamental rights. There is a constitution which governs the country. And the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice, the bench of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court failed to protect the rights of the citizens of the country. And with that, democracy was murdered in Bengal, and the ruling party, Trinamool Congress, had no power, no manner of resistance to this. The next thing after this, Dr. Vasu, was to hit the streets, to boycott the election. And someone asked me that when all this illegality was happening, and it was known, it was being done openly, why were the elections not boycotted? The answer is very simple. The way the BJP moves in politics, a boycott would be in their favor. We have seen n number of important laws being passed in the Parliament of India when the opposition has walked out. In any other democracy, that law would have been held back, the opposition would have been invited, because at the end of the day, that law is for the citizens of the country. And the opposition MPs represent a sizable portion of the citizens of the country. So, the BJP's model of governance is that whoever we represent, from Ambani, Adani to who else, we govern for them, we make laws for them, we will bend the institutions for them, and as if the rest of the country, people representing the rest of the country do not matter, are not part of this country. And this model of misgovernance, non-democratic approach to governance must have persuaded the political parties not to hit the streets and not to boycott the election. But this, I repeat with absolute clarity, was not an election in which the voters, all eligible voters, participated. And since a very sizable number of voters were disallowed from voting, the mandate that has come today in the Bengal elections is not a democratic mandate, and therefore the government that will be formed will be an illegal and undemocratically selected government. Selected voters have put in power a selected government. This is not an elected government.
Yeah, that is true. But at the same time, all of us felt one more thing, that when the voting crossed 90%, 91, 92%, it was also felt that people have come out in very big number. Those who were earlier not voting are also voting, and all the migrants have come back to West Bengal and they have voted. So this whatever loss that the opposition parties could have had, that probably they'll overcome it. So, but even that did not happen, or that has not happened, though the results are completely not out. And in some parts of West Bengal, even only 4 or 5 rounds are counted, but the trend is clear. So, assuming that this trend will continue and BJP will have a very big win. So, this win, those who are opposed to BJP's politics could not they couldn't stop it in spite of this big voting. What do you think?
Two things. Migrants coming back to vote in Bengal is a very old trend. Migrants always come back to vote because they have they are voters in Bengal, they have homes in Bengal, they have families in Bengal, and in a village, the social infrastructure is such that even if you go out to work, you still belong to that village, and all your rights, all your starting from your ration up to all the social justice schemes are part of your being in that village. So coming back, migrants coming back to vote is not a new thing at all. Now, somebody has done the arithmetic about the number of deletions and the voting percentage. It has basically come. Bengal is traditionally a very high voting percentage state. 82-83% of vote is, if you go through all the past elections, let's say the past 5-10 elections, you will see it is more or less in that area. Rural areas vote much, much higher in Bengal than probably in the rest of the country. But if the deleted voters are taken out from the list and the percentage of votes cast this time in the elections is added, you will see that there is not any substantial change. So I will stick to this, that the number of voters being reduced has impacted the result of this election. The percentage of voters who have cast their votes from the truncated list remains the same as the previous percentage of voters. And this is a simple, this is not an opinion, this is arithmetic, and it has been done by scholars and election specialists. So there is no great change in the voting percentage.
From outside Bengal, we felt that the fight is only between TMC and BJP, or TMC versus the Election Commission. What about the role of left and Congress and also the other civil society in West Bengal? Because earlier we saw there were many campaigns, including no vote to BJP and all that. And in the previous election, there were some popular songs, even the cultural artists were there in the fight. But this time it looked like only TMC led by Mamata Banerjee and BJP.
You forgot to mention that in a month before the election, in addition to using the Election Commission to support the BJP's electoral initiatives, the central forces, the central agencies were let loose in Bengal like nobody's business. Trinamool Congress, rightly or wrongly, has an election consultant. To raid the consultant and to make that an issue up to the Supreme Court is ridiculous. It is like I am advising a client as a lawyer, and that client has some interest which is against the interest of BJP. And so one day ED will walk into my house because I am a consultant. So,
and in fact, the IPAC chief was arrested and he was released only on the day of election, or the day after the election.
So I don't know why all these events which have taken place, which are not in debate, are not being seen and being shown as the unfair practices of BJP to win Bengal. So BJP, I repeat, has not won Bengal. BJP has compelled Bengal to declare BJP the winner. Now, coming back to the other political parties, yes, two things. Firstly, I don't know where Trinamool gets his political sense and calculations and all of that. Trinamool came across as an extremely arrogant political outfit. I, for one, know that there were possibilities of alliances in which Trinamool would, of course, lead the alliance. But Trinamool rejected those overtures. Regarding the left in Bengal today, I don't know what to say. They coined this expression, Aage Ram, Pore Bam. First Ram, and then we will remove Ram and bring back left, Bam. They transferred votes to BJP. They did all of that, and even today they are
Aage
clueless.
Ram Fir Bam is the slogan of the left.
Yeah, yes. It's the slogan of the left front in Bengal.
Left front
Declared slogan.
officially.
Officially. On the walls. Wall writing is very popular in Bengal, as you know.
It is not some peripheral left activist who has done it.
Sir, I'm talking about CPIM. I'm not talking about any peripheral left activist. Anyway, that is also history. But the left is so upset with Mamata Banerjee for having defeated them in 2011, and they carry the weight of that defeat so heavy on their shoulders up to 2026 that the threat of the communal BJP to the fabric of Bengal, which is a partition state, BJP understands the complication of Bengal. It's not like Karnataka. It is not, it's a very difficult state. But, the last pain of partition was in 71. 55 years have passed, out of which, from 77 to 2011, the left was in power. So the Bengali Hindu was not in pain of the partition, which is why CPIM won election after election. And they didn't visit any mandirs or masjids or churches to garner electoral support. So the BJP resurrected the pain of election, of partition. It was a forgotten pain. It was like, there was a wound which had dried up and there was just a mark left on the body. And the BJP got a knife and dug up that wound again and made you feel the pain. And the left, I'm sorry to say, which had actually worked very hard to remove this pain, added salt to this new wound. So the political parties, Trinamool was wrong in not giving an alliance image to the Bengal electoral initiative. The left was completely wrong for having hated Trinamool more than it hated BJP. The civil society, I must say, did what it did last time, though the farmers' movement was much less strident than it was in 2021. But remember, in 2021, the farmers' movement, the Delhi Gherao, was also happening. So those are historical events which had converged. In May 2021, 5 lakh farmers were sitting on the borders of Delhi protesting against Modi. So there was a real need of the farmer leaders to come to Bengal and campaign against BJP. But in 2026, that dynamic was not there. So the farmers' movement did not come. But civil society, by and large, and even left-oriented civil society, spoke about Trinamool, campaigned not for Trinamool, but against BJP. It was lesser in tone and decibel this time, but it was there. But finally, as I told you, it is the deletion of the voters. As a Bengali and as a person who has voted, I am ashamed that a government has now come to my state, which has been elected by people like me who have voted, forgetting the pain of the people whose names have been deleted from the voter list. It's a very shameful day for Bengal. It's a very shameful day for every voter in Bengal who has had the opportunity to vote.
सर और एक प्रश्न है, SIR इज द मेन कल्प्रिट इस चुनाव में, बट इससे पहले कांग्रेस अलेज कर रहे थे हरियाणा और महाराष्ट्र चुनाव होने के बाद वोट चोरी और फ्लोटिंग वोटर्स, टूरिस्ट वोटर्स, वो भी इस चुनाव में इम्पैक्ट किया है क्या?
देखिए, टूरिस्ट वोटर्स का मसला बंगाल में कम था, सब्सटैंशियली कम था, बिकॉज बंगाल का इलेक्टोरेट जो है वो गरीब हो सकता है. We are a very poor state in terms of GDP, in terms of per capita income. But political awareness is very high. primarily because of the constant political turmoil. जो देश भर में लोग पॉलिटिक्स के बारे में सोचते हैं, बंगाल के औसर आदमी जो है वो पॉलिटिक्स के बारे में कुछ और नजरिया से, कुछ और ध्यान से, कुछ और समझ ज्यादा से सोचते हैं। तो वोट चोरी का टूरिस्ट वोटर्स का मसला बंगाल में कम था, कम से कम जो भी मेरे को समझ में आया, मीडिया में पढ़ पाया, उतना बड़ा इशू नहीं था। वोट चोरी का तो एक तो बंगाल और महाराष्ट्र में फर्क यही है कि महाराष्ट्र में वोट चोरी का तरीका अलग था, यहाँ तो वोट चोरी का तरीका बड़ा खुलेआम था। आपको हम वोट देने ही नहीं देंगे, आपसे हम वोट छीन लिए हैं, तो उससे बड़ा वोट चोरी और हो क्या सकता है। और वोट चोरी के लिए हम स्पेशल रूल बनाए हैं। मैं आपको बता देता हूं और आपके चैनल के माध्यम से जो सुन रहे हैं उनको बताना चाहता हूं कि सब सोशल एक्टिविस्ट्स का, जो लोगों के बीच में काम कर रहे हैं, उनका काम है हर एक डिलीटेड वोटर को वापस वोटर लिस्ट में उठाना। ये अंतिम चुनाव नहीं है। हो सकता है ये चुनाव जो है बीजेपी चोरी करके ले गई, लेकिन 1.5 साल के अंदर पंचायत चुनाव आ रही है, ये सब वोटरों को उसमें डालिए ना, एंड देन लेट अस सी क्या रिजल्ट आता है। सब वोटर वोट करेगा, उसके बाद बीजेपी जीते तो ठीक है। तो हमारा मूल काम अभी ये है कि जो चोरी हो गया, जो गलती हो गया वो तो ठीक है, लेकिन अब दीवार को, दरवाजे को रिपेयर करके फर्दर चोरी को बंद करने का काम हमें करना पड़ेगा। और मुझे नहीं लगता है कि कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी ये काम कर सकती है। उनके पास ये काडर स्ट्रेंथ या काडर का मानसिकता नहीं है। जो करना होगा डॉक्टर वासु, ये जो सोशल ग्रुप, सोशल मूवमेंट्स का काम है, ये वोटर्स के पक्ष में बोलने का टाइम आया है, वोटर्स को रेइंस्टेट करने का टाइम आया है। एंड ये बंगाल का आने वाला दिनों में सबसे बड़ा सोशल मूवमेंट, सामाजिक न्याय का एक मूवमेंट शुरू होने वाला है, और हमको इसको स्टीयर करना पड़ेगा, गाइड करना पड़ेगा, एनर्जी देना पड़ेगा। जी।
Yes, sir. Probably that's the message to the other states also. But one concern about Bengal, Bengal is also known for political violence. It was there during left rule. It has been there when TMC was in power. Now there is a more aggressive political force which will come to power, and we saw it in Tripura also when left was defeated by BJP. They literally burnt offices and houses of the opposition party cadre. And do you foresee any such thing in West Bengal after this?
It will absolutely happen. It will absolutely happen. Sitting far away from Bengal, I see a lot of people talking about political violence in Bengal, which is true. As a Bengali sitting both in Calcutta and seeing Bengal from far away, I can see that happen. But if you compare the two major partition states of India, Punjab and Bengal, for people who have had to fight for survival, fight for a utensil to cook food in, have had to abandon their life, their livelihood, their land, their homes, I don't think their, I will not say attraction, their need to understand violence and, if necessary, to protect them, to use violence for protection is understandable. I am not propagating and promoting violence, but violence is a many-colored beast. It all depends from which side you are seeing this beast. Violence should never happen in electoral democracy, but in Bengal, populated by people who have had large displacements of life, every election leads to a new displacement. So when the left was in power, they routinely displaced, routinely tortured the non-left voting or leadership of the non-left. Left went out of power, that happened. Now BJP is coming to power, they will do the same. And Trinamool will have to deal with it. It will be interesting to see how Trinamool holds on to their organizational structure, holds on to their strength, holds on to their on-ground presence. I mean, I was thinking I will not make a comment, but I'm not very hopeful that Trinamool will be able to do it.
No, but my point there is, as a continuation of what you said in the end, you have given a call to every citizen of this country, but people are also curious to know about Trinamool Congress. Will TMC continue this fight? Will Mamata Banerjee continue this fight? Because we also see that on the ground, those who are seen as the so-called goons, which people used to attribute it to CPM and also to Trinamool, a considerable chunk of them shift towards the ruling party. And now a ruling party has changed. So will that also weaken the fight that was there so far from the advantage of being a ruling party in West Bengal? So how will it fight? How will Mamata Banerjee react to this stealing of mandate?
Personally, I think Mamata Banerjee is a great fighter. She has a lot of energy to push her cause forward. Her last big fight was when she was 55 years old. Today she is 70. I do not know how much her age and health will permit the energy that her mind feels. I have no doubt that she will fight back. Whether she will still have the party and the people in the party in that fight, I have my doubts. Of course, there will be some loyalists, sizable in number, but actually booth level workers, difficult, very difficult. We'll know in a year and a half when the panchayat elections come. But you are right, Dr. Vasu, that a large portion of workers at the booth level in the villages will have to shift their loyalty to BJP. Will have to do it now, because otherwise for them, surviving in that village will be difficult. Unlike other states where you win or lose an election and then life continues, life in Bengal revolves around an election and victory and defeat in an election. There will be severe torture, severe attack on Trinamool workers, and it will be by those BJP workers who will remember the attack that they faced when they lost elections. So sitting in a television studio to judge it is very difficult, what vengeance means, what violence means. But Mamata Banerjee, I believe, will fight back. With what she will fight back is something we have to see. There will be post-poll violence against Trinamool workers. There will be a shift of Trinamool workers towards the BJP. These things appear to be clear to me at this point of time.
No, in other elections we do not know, but in this election we saw Amit Shah himself giving an indirect call from election podium itself that he was mentioning that the goons will not support Trinamool Congress now. Basically, he wanted the goons to support him. So because anyway she is losing, Mamata di to jayegi. So this was from the Union Home Minister. When that is the case, and we also know the kind of image that Amit Shah has and how it will react, but that will be very unfortunate to see in this country. So your call from Bengal to the whole country, because we think that the whole country should also now stand with Bengal, those who have lost their voting right also. Yes, thank you. Sunil.
Nothing. Thank you very much, sir. It's nice talking to you.
ಮತ್ತಷ್ಟು ವಿಶೇಷ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡಲು ಮತ್ತು ಹೊಸ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿಯಲು
EDina.com ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತು ಬೆಲ್ ಐಕಾನ್ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ.